What's up, everybody? Welcome to the CanesInSight Daily Podcast, powered by Anijar and Levine Accident Attorneys. We've been going through position by position. We'll continue with the position previews all through next week, but wanted to bring it back to recruiting. Huge recruiting weekend. This weekend, there's a barbecue happening. A lot of players from all over the country, 25 kids, commits, targets, also 2026 kids. So we will take you to the bank. I spoke to sources. We're going to be the latest in insider information here on this show for free. First, I want to talk about my friends at Anijar and Levine Accident Attorneys. If you or someone you care about has been injured in an accident, you could be entitled to significant compensation. 1-800-747-FREE, 1-800-747-3733. Take back control of your life. They don't get paid until you get paid. Anijar and Levine. All right, Pete, let's get into recruiting here. We've been focused on the team. We'll get back to the team. Of course, we're getting ready for real football, but I wanted to sort of summarize all the things I am hearing from sources, multiple conversations with multiple sources leading up to this show. And we'll talk about this weekend coming up and some of the major targets. It's a more focused list of players, but some big time players on campus here.
Yeah, and I'm going to pull up here the website. Of course, you can always find this on CanesInsight.com in written form. So I'm going to pull that up so people can see it as well, D. But it always seems like these barbecues, these, pool parties, whatever you want to call them, it's always although Miami's gone on a run recently, I don't want to call it a turning point, but always a premier event here in the summer, and a ton of buzz always comes out of stuff like this. So exciting to see what happens.
Yeah, and again, major prospects, not as many off the board because you got so many already there, but they're zeroing in. Starting with a guy we talked on the last few banks, Jamie French. We've been reporting that communication's been picking up, more reciprocal communication with Jamie French. He will be here this weekend. He's at LSU right now. Then he's going to go to Miami. Texas is also involved, Tennessee, but Miami really likes Jamie French. He's been projected to many different places, the 5-star receiver, but Miami's continued to push, and they expect this weekend to be a significant push. Miami is going to push very hard with Jamie French. They're going to try to show him everything he needs to see. They love the kid. They think that he has a great opportunity to be the guy here at Miami, and I'm sure they're going to be selling that to him when he comes on campus for the Cookout. So Jamie French, major target. Other major uncommitted target in that 5-star range, Yossi Epinesa, defensive end from Edwardsville, Illinois. No real update there. Last time we told you Miami and Utah were the favorites. That's still the case based on what I hear from sources. He's an Iowa legacy. That's always a threat to kind of swoop back in. But I think Miami and Utah, blazing his own path there, have jumped to the forefront. There's some family ties to Utah. Miami's probably been recruiting him the best. We'll see. I'm told he's really not in a hurry to make a decision. It can come at any time, but it's not like, imminent. At least they don't know it's imminent. So people are just kind of waiting and seeing there, but Miami and Utah are the best positioned there. One name I wanted to bring up, Byron Lewis, the running back from American Heritage. So with respect to this situation, I've been saying, based on very reliable info, that I didn't expect a second back in the class. I'd still lean probably 55-45 that there isn't, but Byron Lewis is going to be on campus. And if Byron Lewis has a great time and says, I want to be a Miami Hurricane, I don't think Miami is going to tell him no, because he is a very good talent. They love the kid. They love the player. So I would say with respect to the second running back, they're very happy to take just one with Jared Pringle, but Byron Lewis will be on campus, and anything can happen when you have a player that the school likes as a person, that the school likes as a player, and he's on campus. So keep an eye on the Byron Lewis situation at running back, powerful back, 200 plus, a guy who's been productive, been on the scene for a long time, bigger back than Jared Pringle, who's still very tough inside the tackles back, but a home run hitting back inside the tackles. Byron Lewis has speed as well. He can run, but really more of that power back to potentially complement Pringle again. I've always heard Miami's expecting only one and are happy to take only one. But if Byron Lewis wants to jump on board and he'd be here this weekend, that could be an option as well.
It's tough to turn down the best back in South Florida. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you want to get the best guy at that position if you can every year, right? So, again, American Heritage, you get Jordan Lyle last year from St. Thomas Aquinas. So I think obviously he's a phenomenal football player and very talented guy. He's a high 4-star recruit, but at the same time, when you have a real opportunity to land a kid from a program like this, you got to do it.
No question about it. By the way, there will be some secret visitors on campus. I'm told. I reported 2 in the bank. I just got confirmation on another. I won't say the names until they get on campus, and they're, you don't know if they're going to get there till they get there. But I'm told 3 big-time players, blue-chip players, expected on campus that trying to keep it under wraps until the guys get here. But very, very big-time players that Miami has prioritized for a while. 2025 kids potentially on campus this weekend. Some guys that were reported elsewhere that will be on campus: Herbert Scroggins, Elijah Melendez. Those a buzz that those 2 commits might go to Auburn for the weekend. Herbert Scroggins, the D end, Elijah Melendez, the linebacker. Both of those guys expected to be in Miami. Jabari Antoine, the recent commit to the Canes from Louisiana, from New Iberia, he will be on campus. Just tweeted about it as well. So those 3 names will be on campus, guys that the SEC wants bad, but Miami's been able to fight them off so far, and they will be on campus here. Here's a name at defensive tackle I want you guys to keep an eye on. This is the most fluid board of the whole recruiting class. A lot of names coming up. You got late bloomers at this position. It's a position where you might circle back on guys when you start winning, and they're going to continue to push on some names that are committed elsewhere. But one new name that I wanted to put on your radar: Micah Newton from Newberry, Florida, actually a teammate of Jarquez Carter, who committed to Ohio State. There's an NC State commit. Miami really likes this player. Explosive. You see it on the film. This guy's got a lot of twitch. I'm told he's young for his age. He's listed about 6'2", 260. I think he's bigger than that and getting bigger. They expect him to grow into a true defensive tackle with explosiveness and size and change of direction, finishing ability. NC State's done a phenomenal job of evaluating players. CJ Clark, who Miami just picked up as a graduate transfer from North Carolina State, will start for the Canes. They're trying to kind of piggyback on that evaluation early with a guy like Micah Newton. Now that they've seen him, evaluated him, the Hurricanes believe he could be a Miami Hurricane caliber defensive tackle, and they will recruit him.
And you see, again, the constant theme here at the defensive line spot this year has been versatility. You see him standing up as an edge guy. Probably not going to be doing much of that at the next level, but regardless, has the athleticism. His staff believes that, and you see him, racking up a bunch of plays here in the backfield. So
yeah, defense tackle is a tricky position. You saw the blue chippers last time. You still want to add some blue chippers, Elijah Griffin, guys like that maybe committed elsewhere. Again, if your team does well, I think that board will expand, but you still want to identify guys that are capable of playing in Miami. There's only so many body types with the athleticism you need at that position. You want to make sure you're on all of them. So Micah Newton, a new name to watch at defensive tackle, first reported right here on the bank for CanesInsight fans. In terms of 2026, one name that Miami really, really likes, and is someone I think we should all keep an eye on as potentially the next back to come out of South Florida, that is Javian Mallory out of West Boca. This is somebody with great production, 1,400 yards, really efficient runner, smooth, truly a natural runner. He's not just a track guy that they threw out there to say run the ball. He's not an athlete. He is a running back with vision, with balance, with good size, hard to tackle, really attacks the line. I'm not going to compare anybody to Frank Gore because the chances of someone achieving that are like 0.0001%. But, in terms of just the running style, he's that style of back that's really just a natural back that you don't say this guy's an athlete. You say this guy is a smooth, natural running back.
Yeah, you definitely see it. And D, I don't know if you have anything else to add here on the bank, but now that we're on the topic of running back, I've been teasing this clip now for a couple weeks now, talking about Jonathan Taylor, of course, the Colts running back, one of the top running backs in the NFL. Had a chance to interview him for new podcast I'm doing over at FRM, the agency podcast. And we talked about Damian Martinez because he's had a chance to train with Damian Martinez. He's had a chance to train with Frank Gore Sr. and Jr. It's crazy. We talked about in the podcast how Frank is still training like he's, going to play for another season in the NFL. But interesting clip here. Again, Jonathan Taylor talking about Hurricanes running back Damian Martinez here.
A little bit. Also, what do the Canes fans have to look forward to with him this year?
Big Dame.
Big Dame.
Big Dame.
When he first got there, I'm like, dang, he kind of big. Like, because I'm a big back. I'm like, dang, you in college? I'm like, you in college? He's like, yeah. We did this one drill. It was like the first week he got there. And it was basically like a movement drill. It was like a movement drill to where you have a cone in the center and you got 5 cones around you. Mm-hmm. And you kind of got to flip your hips between each cone and come back to the center. So, I go. I'm like, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to make sure I'm fluent. Then I'm waiting. I'm about to watch him go. I'm like, man, because he kind of big. I'm like,
super big.
similar to
Frank.
Frank, like, man, he probably stiff. Listen, he started doing that drill. I'm like, he moving way better than I thought for his size.
Right.
I'm like, he just got down here. So I'm like, it might be over. It might be over for the ACC.
So that was a snippet from the show that's dropping today, a full episode with Jonathan Taylor. I'll put the link in the bio. We talked more about Damian Martinez, talked about his, workouts with Frank Gore. And, if you're an NFL fan, you'll enjoy the conversation, his whole contract thing going on with the Colts last year. But yeah, D, you saw the clip. We played it before the show there, and you heard it again there. I mean, your thoughts on what Jonathan Taylor's saying on Damian Martinez there?
To me, the visual, right? When the eyes light up, you can kind of tell when someone really is excited about a player and they're not just giving a political answer. His eyes lit up when he talked about Damian Martinez. And this is the top of the running back world with Jonathan Taylor. So he's not going to be excited about somebody that's just run of the mill. He's hard to impress, I imagine, given what he himself has done. So to see his reaction, I thought was very telling. Of course, Frank Gore loves to evaluate running backs. He's helped the San Francisco 49ers in some of their scouting stuff. So that's a passion of his. So to get that seal of approval is also very important. And the physical size, man, just like he said, when he saw him, he was taken aback. I've heard the same thing from people who have seen him at Miami. Just right when he came on his visit, the coaches all looked at each other and said, wow, we better get this guy because he's huge. So add the size, the quickness that Jonathan Taylor talked about, the production that Martinez has proven at a pretty good level of football. There's a reason why he's ranked so high in the NCAA video game. There's a reason why NFL scouts are talking about him. There's a reason why all the magazines are talking about him. This is a primetime plug-and-play player that could be the best running back since Duke Johnson. And if you're talking about just NFL every down back type, maybe go back further, Lamar Miller, or even beyond. So very, very excited to see what Damian Martinez can bring to this team. And this clip just got me very much juiced up to see what his potential is. Another big back I want to talk about actually is Mark Fletcher. I've been getting a lot of questions about Mark Fletcher's health. And Mario Cristobal at the media day mentioned that, Fletcher's expected to be there for the start of camp. What I'll say is, look, he is way ahead of schedule. Everything has been amazing. At the same time, you don't want setbacks. So I think this is sort of a wait and see. All the news has been good to this point, but you don't want to get ahead of yourself and go backwards, right? So injuries are always touch and go. You got to be careful what you report, what you say. But what I can confidently report on Fletcher, talking to sources today, way ahead of schedule. Everybody's excited about where he is, but you have to listen to his body and see how he reacts to situations. And there's no need to push him beyond his limits. You got good backs already. Mark Fletcher's going to have a great career. He's going to have a great NFL career. Wait till he's fully ready. No setbacks. But up to this point, every benchmark, every checkpoint, he has exceeded what the doctors and other people thought he was going to be at. All good news with Mark Fletcher's rehab, which is a tribute to his work ethic and commitment more than anything else, and great genetics too.
Definitely. No, and it's going to be whenever both those guys are healthy, obviously Martinez is, but whenever Fletcher's healthy, that's going to be a load for defenses to take control of there. But one last piece of context there on the Jonathan Taylor thing too, D, is that Jonathan told me that he lost, and he said this in the interview, Damian Martinez lost probably 10 pounds, when he started training and when he was done with the training, because when he's talking about him in that clip, he was probably closer to 235. According to what Taylor said. So he said he lost 10 pounds. He was already had the quicks at that size, has the strength, has the power. So, I mean, he's going to really wear defenses down, and I think is going to be fresher later in games than what he was used to at Oregon State.
No, excited to see that 1-2 punch, 1-2-3-4 punch. There's a lot of guys in the backfield. Lighter Martinez, also a lighter load on Martinez. We'll be interested to watch. One name I forgot to mention in the bank, going back to recruiting here, Bryce Fitzgerald will be on campus this weekend. He's somebody that Miami really likes his athleticism. This guy could be a receiver. He could be a corner, played safety in high school and was outstanding in terms of the interceptions. I think the physicality, when you talk to people around that program and around, that played that team, I think the physicality is probably the weakest area of his game right now. So to me, the question is he a cornerback? He ran 4.4s at the Lasers at the Under Armour. He's got great size for a corner, unbelievable ball skills, fluid athlete, basketball player. if he can play corner, the physicality, he still needs to be tackling, right? But I think the physicality requirement goes down a little bit and the athleticism plays up. Excited to see where he lands. He'll be on campus this weekend. Miami really wants to add him and figure out the rest later because he is that special of an athlete and a productive playmaker.
All right, D, remember to like this video, Canes fans, and subscribe to the channel. We put these videos out every day. And remember, we're going to keep up with the positional previews, which we did most of the offensive side of the ball this week. I believe we have offensive line, left D, and then we'll, of course, do the rest of the defense. So excited for that. Stay tuned. CanesInsight.com, completely free. Go ahead, D.
Don't forget about Caneswear. If you want to get ready for the summer, go to the beach. This is the time. They got koozies. They got coolers. They got all the tank tops, any kind of Canes gear, bathing suit. I got my Canes bathing suit there. Any kind of Canes gear you want, they have it at Caneswear or caneswear.com if you are not local. Easiest process, easy to use website, great search function, caneswear.com and Caneswear, the spot where Miami fans shop. By the way, thank you to all of us who joined, all you guys who joined the Canes Connection Zoom call yesterday, giving private information, even more than I've been able to give out here. And first, to Canes Connection members, if you want to sign up and be part of Miami's official NI collective, go to www.canesconnection.com, promo code CIS, sign up for Miami's official NIL collective. You'll get exclusive info. Use that promo code. You'll get access to the Zoom, and you'll get 20% off your first month. Let's support the cause. Let's bring in the Jamie Frenches of the world. It's not cheap. CanesConnection.com. Be part of the solution.
Go Canes.
Go Canes.
Yeah. This an insight to the Canes, and you know we ain't playing no games. Joaquin said dominate, so that's what we do. Home of the legends and 7th floor crew. Down in Miami where hurricanes brew. You here for the rumors, we bring you the news. Cause it's all about the you. And nobody do it like CanesInSight. 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 It's CanesInSight.